Hey, this is Zach with the IE Advocates. And when I'm at a conference, I love going up to a speaker after they finish sharing some great ideas and asking them a simple question. How can some of these things that you're talking about impact some of the millions of employees out there that are also family caregivers? Let's find out. Welcome to the Caregiver Lens. Hey everybody, Zach back at SHRM-26. And again, I just came out of a fantastic session. This is April Simpkins. Hey April.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, honestly.
I went there because she was going to talk about mental health, but I got to tell you, she touched on a lot of important aspects of the caregiver world. And I asked her, and she was so generous to give me a few minutes to share a few things with our audience out there. And the first thing I'd love for you to just expand on, April, is we got to ask people to stop telling caregivers to go do self-care. Oh. Caregivers don't like that word. And they're like, I don't have time to go do a spa. I don't have any time. But I never have a good way of explaining why not to do that. And today was the first time I've heard it from April. So April, could you please kind of walk us through what happens?
Absolutely. And, you know, I say this a lot. When we talk about mental health, we really need to get a clear understanding of how to support someone, what language to use, how we can explain where we are so we get the care that we need.
Right.
And I learned that there's a difference between your mental health being taxed and your mental health being affected. And when your mental health is taxed, there is an expiration date. You are going through something, you are dealing with something. It could be a deadline. It could be, you know, a family member that brings you a lot of stress and they're only staying for 2 weeks. And so you're figuring...
No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding out there. Actually, I do.
So anyway. You're figuring out to get through those 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's, you know,
that
it's
makes so much sense. It will eventually go away.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a deadline. There's an expiration date versus when your mental health has been affected. There has been something that has been life-altering. And a pivot has occurred, a death, a marriage, a divorce, empty nester, and you need support and resources to help you through that period. And I think when we learn the difference between when your mental health is taxed and when your mental health is affected and what you need during those two distinct periods, we are able to not only provide support, but receive the support.
And so why this clicked with me is because I've never really looked at becoming a caregiver as an event.
Yeah.
And when you said that, I'm like, bingo. That's why telling somebody self-care isn't going to cut it.
Yeah.
So you say when someone's going through an event and they're affected, providing them resources is going to be more helpful. And you talked about a resource that comes up a lot in the caregiver world, or let's say somebody is grieving or has cancer, and you go to them and you don't know what to say, right? And a lot of times, what do you say? I'm here for you, right? If you need something, what happens when you tell somebody if you need something?
They say okay, and they don't ever follow up.
Yeah.
It's so broad. Yeah. It's just
it is. It puts a burden on you too, right?
Really
it's like,
does.
Oh, so I got to think of something for you to go do. You brought up something today. Please share with the audience. You brought up something that is so cool. I've never heard of this.
Yes. And so I found it. It's called supportnow.org. There's no cost involved in doing this. And it's helpful whether if you're the person who has said, if you need anything, let me know. Stop yourself and sit with that person and help go through the ways that they may need support and who's available. And Support Now goes through everything from the support you need at home. It could be just someone rolling your trash cans out and bringing them back.
Yeah.
It could be, you know, someone providing meals. It could be someone walking your dog. There's so many ways, big and small. Could be just words of encouragement that people need support. And that one website and setting up that account is a great way to do that. So now you don't have to be left with, I wonder how I can help.
Right.
And that person who needs help isn't left with the burden of thinking through how to educate you. They can literally just say, listen, I've got this set up already. Can I just send it to you? And now that person can just kind of scan and think, oh, this is where I can help. I'll stop by and walk the
Oh,
dog.
this idea. Some companies will do like a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
And listen, employees get embarrassed with that.
Yes.
They really
Yes.
do. Versus if you did something like this not on the down low, but I mean, I don't know how you would advertise it, but you can say, if you want to help this employee out, you've done this. What's this website again?
Supportnow.org. Yes.
And there's listed items. That's like brilliant.
Absolutely. And it includes in there
I love
the
that
meal
idea.
train, the DoorDash, the Amazon. Sometimes they may need supplies or products. And you don't have to feel like you're violating their privacy because they've put this out there and said, this is the ways that I need help.
Yeah.
And for some people, maybe all you want to do is throw some money at it.
Yeah.
Well, you can do that as well. Hey, I'm going to pitch in $10 or $15. And I think that's so important that people know how to support you.
I love it. I love it. And April talks from a lot of experience.
Yes.
She was a kick-ass HR leader in a couple of different organizations. But she also experienced a life event. I did not know this. I did not know you before I met you. And your life event is really important. And what you've done with this, if you don't mind sharing a little bit about what you've experienced and your beautiful, gorgeous angel daughter, and also a little bit about the book.
Yes.
I would really appreciate that.
I would love to do that. My daughter, Chesley Christ, was an amazing, amazing woman. She was a Division I athlete. She graduated cum laude in undergrad from the top honors college in the country. She went on right after undergrad to earn her JD and her MBA simultaneously.
Wow.
From Wake Forest University.
Wow.
She was the only person in her class to do that, and her classmates gave her an ovation for achieving that. After that, she went on to sit for the bar in North and South Carolina, practice complex civil litigation, and then went on to become Miss North Carolina USA. And in 2019, she won that final pageant and became Miss USA. And
that's amazing. Wow.
And so it's,
they say the olive doesn't fall far from the olive tree. Well, at least the Greeks say that. So I can see where she got that from. Right. All right.
So in addition to being an attorney and being Miss USA, which, by the way, I did not know until she became Miss USA, is a salaried full-time job with benefits.
Oh, really?
Yes, you are literally the representative.
And I love, I've already started reading the first chapter of your book, and I love how your daughter wanted to change the perception of pageantry.
Yes.
That's incredible. Anyway, please.
Yes, no, it's okay. And so while she was Miss USA, she was also given an incredible opportunity to be a correspondent for the entertainment program Extra. And so she did that.
Wow.
She was amazing. But behind the scenes of all of that, Chesley was battling a mental illness. She had persistent depressive disorder. It's also called dysthymia. And I was her supporter. I was her caregiver. I was that person that she could call and just sit on the phone and cry or talk. And I learned how to listen. And in 2022, in January, she succumbed to her illness and died by suicide. And before she passed away, she'd written a manuscript. And in her final wishes, she asked me to see that her book be published. And so I went on a 2-year journey to see that happened. And her book was published. It became a New York Times bestseller. All the proceeds from her book, all the net proceeds go to the Chesley C. Christ Foundation. Really awesome. Proud of that.
Wow, we'll put the links. I'll put the links in there.
Yeah.
All right.
But I learned so much in that. Chesley is one of 6. I have 5 other children. And I learned a lot about support, about how to receive support, set boundaries, look out for myself. Self-care took on a whole different meaning for me. It wasn't going to get a manicure and pedicure. That was not going to make me feel better. I needed time and space. I needed room to set a boundary. I needed to learn how to have my body and my mind in the same place, which gave me inner peace. And I learned so many things. And my goal now is to share those things, which is of course how we met when I had the opportunity to share here at the SHRM conference.
We so appreciate you being vulnerable to the world.
Thank you.
We're all benefiting from it. May Chesley's legacy continue to live forever,
Yes.
which you're doing a good job.
Yes.
Maybe we can close on this. I didn't prepare you for this, but you obviously were an amazing role model for your daughter. But I got a feeling that your daughter is a role model for you right now. What's one thing that she has really inspired you to do that you are doing now?
Chesley, there's so many amazing things I could say about her. But one thing that I absolutely loved is she was an incredible listener.
Wow.
I've shared with you all of the amazing accomplishments. She spoke with Johnny Taylor, who is the CEO of SHRM, at an event. She participated in SHRM. But you could sit with Chesley, look at her background. You could sit with her and talk sports. You could talk pageant shoes. You could talk about the makeup of the Supreme Court. You could talk about legislation that's coming down. And she never made you feel like your conversation was beneath her.
Wow.
She would talk to little girls about wearing a crown or young men about running track and field. And I take that and I emulate that. When I'm talking to someone, no matter what we're talking about, that is the most important topic. That is the most important conversation.
Well, I know Chesley was watching you today. I was watching you today, and I just want to tell you, you do walk that talk, because I was watching you talk to, she had a long line of people signing her book today here at SHRM-26, and I was watching her. I was being her photographer, my new friend here, and we got the Charlotte, North Carolina connection.
Yes.
But I was watching you, and you were actually listening
Yes.
to every single person that was, and you didn't say anything until you were ready, and so you did take a page out of her book
Yes.
on that. We didn't
Yes.
prepare for that one. So April Simpson, thank you so much for your time and for everything that you're doing. God bless you, and I hope everybody has tuned in and share this.
Yes.
And more importantly, please check out.
By the time you read this.
Thank you. April Simpkins, guys. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.